G'day guys, thanks for clicking on the video. Well, it's official. The rain gods hate me. Every time I try to do a video, it's either raining or storms are threatening. So I did a video, which you may have seen. If you haven't, you should check that out, where I did a solo camper under a huge leaning rock. And I thought I'd follow that video up with this one, which is going to be a bit of a gear dump. I'm not going to go through every bit of gear, but I thought I'd show some of the main bits of kit that I used on that trip in case people are interested. That's what this video is about. Thanks for watching. Hope you can hear me over the rain. Let's get into it. Alright, straight up we've got the pack. This is the 51172, the 55 litre pack. And the key feature that I found was great in doing the video I just did was that I had my day pack stuffed in here. So you got this extra little pouch thing at the front where you can shove a rain jacket or firewood or whatever you want, and I was able to put my day pack in there and then strap it in, and it was good to go. And then I just ran the hose for the water bladder out of the day pack over the shoulder straps of this thing, and yeah, it was pretty good. I mentioned the water bladder. So in the back here, back of the pack, you've got a large zipped area. That's where you keep your water bladder normally. However, what I took with me, if I can get it out, was a grill. So there's a grill, and that just fits in perfect in there. And that came from a flat pack fire pit that was sent to me by a company for review. So I took that out of the fire pit and I used it in this setup, and it was pretty good. Allows you to put a couple of pans and pots or whatever else you want on the fire, and that fit perfectly in the back there. My canteen, which is a clean canteen, it's a 40 ounce or 1.2 litres, something like that. Wide mouth, single wall, stainless steel. And then nested on the bottom of that was my Totes 750ml titanium pot. So you got the pot, the handles come out on it, got the lid. So I was able to use that to make up a brew while I was out there. The other side pocket for easy access, and so I wouldn't lose it in amongst all the pockets. I had my saw. It's a Silky Gomboy 240. It's a bit bent from some rough usage when I've been doing some of the shelters, cutting through several layers of bamboo at a time and getting bound up in them. Good little saw for doing that type of camp that I was doing. That's about all with the pack. Talk about some of the camping gear. Jesus, rain's coming down. We've got the sleeping bag. It's got compression straps on it. This is a Snug Pack Softy 3 Merlin. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty compact little sleeping bag, keeps you pretty warm. Then I've got my, that's the side. Then I've got this bag. This actually was, one of the items in here was in this bag, and it conveniently keeps all my other sleep gear in it. So I've got, this is my Cedar Summit Thermalite Reactor sleeping bag liner. It's a plus 8 degrees Celsius. Got my little pillow. It's a Cedar Summit Euros pillow, inflatable pillow. I really like it for the valve system on it. It's got two valves in one. So you've got the main valve, which is just a two-way valve, so there's no valve in there. And you can use that to get the most, well, there's two breaths in there, and that's pretty much good. And then you can close that, and then you've got an inner valve. You can open that up, and that's a one-way valve, so the air's not going to come back out. And you can blow it up the rest of the way with that. And then to deflate it, you just pull that main valve open, and yeah, squeeze the air out. I really like that. It's very convenient. Dropping everything here. Very convenient to use, and yeah, it packs away well, nice and easy, nice and quick. That's it's all good. Back in its little pouch, and yeah, it's a Cedar Summit. Yeah, great. I haven't been sponsored by any of these companies at this stage anyway. Hopefully in the future someone will want to sponsor me, but at this point in time, none of these companies have sponsored me. I went out and researched and bought all these things on my own. Next up is my waterproof bivvy. This is by Snugpack, so it matches with that sleeping bag. It's a SF bivvy, waterproof as I said. So when I was out there camping under that huge rock, as you saw there was a storm threatening, much like it is now, and I was pretty confident because I had this, so I knew I'd keep the sleeping bag and everything dry. I did have the plan that this whole pack and all my camera gear was going to get shoved inside this first, and then I'd get in the sleeping bag and sort of just get in there as well, keep all the gear down one end. And then I had this jacket with me, which is a waterproof Vortex jacket. I was going to have that over the top, so I'd just sit up all night against the rock and let the rain come down on me, but thankfully that didn't happen. But if it did, I knew I was going to be pretty well taken care of because I had this waterproof bivvy with me. So the last two pieces of kit that I've got in the sleeping gear was a Climate Sleep Pad. This is ultra light. The only issue I have with this thing, I like it. It's, you know, it keeps you off the ground, keeps you somewhat warmer than if you're laying on the ground. But what I don't like about it is that the valve is this big leg, big hard plastic leg that sticks up in the air, and it's a two-way valve, so you open it up and you breathe into it. If you don't close it off before you stop breathing into it, the air starts coming back out again. So that would be a fantastic sleep pad if it had a valve on it, a valve system like the Cedar Summit. They had that two different valves on it, so you can get a lot of air into it quickly, then you can close it off and it's used as the one-way valve to get it to its final firmness. But it still serves me well, so I'll stick with it until I get something better. And the last piece of gear that I've got, which actually came in this little bag, is a Austrail single box insect net, or mozzie net, so box style, and that's what I had over the top of my my whole camp setup, and keeps the insects off you, so that's pretty good. And as I said, I was able to use this this bag. Now, lots of other companies out there making all this gear, so do your research, find what's available to you in your area and what people are recommending. Some of this gear, there's pros and cons for it. Some of it's really good, I wouldn't change it for anything. Others, I'd be looking around for alternatives in the future, but now it's good. Right, that's the camp system, the sleeping system. Right, move on to this, because this is what I had on me pretty much all the time. This is my bino harness, binoculars harness. It's a Vortex guide rig. Inside I've got a 8x42 Vortex binoculars. They're, I think they're Crossfire somewhere. Yeah, Crossfire binoculars. Work really well. There are lighter, more expensive binoculars out there, but this does me well. Right, day pack. This is a Ridgeline gunslinger. Call it a gunslinger because underneath here, it's been a while since I've used this, but underneath here, down the very bottom, you've got this little rig that comes out, your little pocket there, and that is adjustable, hangs down underneath the pack, and your rifle butt or the cams of a compound bow, that slips into that at one end. This front bit, you can take it completely off, but you can only clip it like that. You got some Velcro bits on here, so you can Velcro that on where your scope is, so that holds your rifle hard against your pack. This covers over the top of your scope and protects it, holds everything in place, so you can hike along with your rifle on your back, and it's all good. I didn't use that on this trip just because there were so many trees and I was constantly having to duck and weave through these trees, so it was a lot easier having the rifle at my side. But on that, the rifle that I had with me, which I was going to bring it up to show you, but I didn't know how many people would actually be interested in that side of things. Yeah, chose not to, but it's a Ruger M77 chambered in 270 Winchester. It's got a custom ultralight stock on it, which I got fitted. I bought the rifle like 20 years ago. I've had that rifle, and the scope on it is a Leupold 2 to 7x32 power scope, zeroed at about 250 meters. I shoot factory ammo in it. I think they're Winchester Super X PowerPoints 130 grain. Yeah, do me well. Last couple of bits of kit I wanted to show you is a headlamp. This is an Energizer, cheap Energizer headlamp that I got. Works really well, really happy with this. It's got 2 light functions, so you've got a red light, so at night time when you're walking around you don't ruin your night vision by having the white light on. And you've got the white light, and you've got different levels of red and white, and yeah. Then there's my skinning knife. This is the smallest, lightest piece of kit that I've got with me, but awesome knife. It's a lock blade, and it uses removable, replaceable scalpel blades that you buy for it. This is a Gerber Vitals knife, and it's great in that it's nice rubber. It's really grippy, so when you're butchering, your hands aren't sliding around everywhere with it. And just the colour as well, it stands out when you put it down on the ground. It's night time, getting a last light, you can find it easy. And yeah, I think that's a wrap. I think we've got through it. If you watched the video through, hope you liked it. Hope you got a bit of information from it. If you didn't, well, thanks for watching it through anyway. Catch you next one. Thanks, guys.